A salad recipe that's quick and simple to put together.
By adding the sweet potato, you're going to have a healthy, long-lasting meal.
We'll show you how to warm up with Martin, what this movement with Morgan is good for, and which car company has been aiding South Florida with free PPE equipment. It's all today on SoFlo Health.
Hello and welcome to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Franqui, and today we're in Pelican Harbor. And we're not just visiting Pelican Harbor, but we're visiting the Pelican Harbor Seabird Station. It gets the name from 40 years of taking care of local pelicans. And since then, they've expanded to so much more than that. They take care of all sorts of local wildlife, from owls to pelicans, herons, possums, and so much more, some of which you'll meet today. In fact, we have a patient waiting on us inside that we're going to learn the story of and see how he's treated. Also, we'll have a release later on today, so you definitely don't want to miss that. But first, let's head inside and meet Hannah, the staff, and the patient. I'll be putting a mask on and leaving it on throughout the show. We will be outside quite a bit, but because we're taking care of some patients and we might be in some closer quarters, it's important to keep this on during COVID.
So here we have a pelican patient. So he came to us a couple days ago, completely covered in line. You can see he actually has a hook still here, and just incredibly weak. He also has a foot injury. We're waiting to see if this foot does resolve, because this actually is very embedded, so it's going to be a pretty invasive surgery.
So what are we doing here today?
So he's obviously very weak and also very dehydrated. So here we're going to administer subcutaneous fluids.
This is something that people might be familiar with their dog or cat at the vet.
Exactly.
They need to get some hydration.
And then here's the fun part. Pelicans obviously have very long necks, so their stomachs are pretty far away. So we're going to give him these pain meds and also some antibiotics.
Okay.
But if I just plopped them right in his mouth, they wouldn't go anywhere. So I'm going to have to go down there for him. Very stretchy also, so it doesn't hurt them. And then this is a liquid diet. It's called Piscivore Care. Same thing as everything else, readily absorbed by the body, really easy to digest, so the body doesn't have to expend a lot of energy digesting food, so it can really focus on healing and getting stronger.
Right.
There he is, all good. And then he'll go and rest.
All right, he'll go and rest. That's super important, obviously, and what you do here on a regular basis is a lot like that. So tell me, what is it that Pelican Harbor Seabird Station does to take care of the wildlife?
So what you saw is a large part, especially when they're inside the clinic here. They're here for a reason. They're very weak, they're sick. So a lot of what we do inside here is really just getting their strength back, getting rid of any infections they might have, really letting them get their strength so that they can go outside.
And then, of course, if you find a bird, and it seems in distress, what should somebody do?
So give us a call. We have hotline 9 to 5, and they'll walk you through it. We'll ask you to send a picture and describe the situation. So most of the times they do need help, but there's occasions where it may look like an animal is in distress, but it's actually,
just being an animal.
Yeah, exactly. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But we'll walk you through if you need to contain it, how to transport, how to minimize stress to the animal. So you can always call us 9 to 5.
And then you have a 24-hour drop-off, correct?
We do also, yes. They can always go onto our website, pelicanharbor.org. Just your one-stop shop for anything you want to know about us, any ways you can help, and really just kind of overall information about us.
The COVID-19 pandemic has been a doozy, and it has certainly made everything more difficult. Even though the vaccine is being distributed, it's not getting out as quickly as we may like. However, you can keep up to date on vaccine news and how you can sign up for one at miamidade.gov or browardcovidvaccine.com. Despite all this, Ford Motor Company has their initiative, Finish Strong, that is helping people get PPE all over the country, and that reaches all the way down here to South Florida as well. If you're watching the Super Bowl, you may have even seen the commercial. Well, today I have Mike from Ford Motor Company with me. Hey Mike, how are you?
Oh, great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Tell me about Finish Strong.
Yeah, with Finish Strong, it's something that we've actually been doing for, hard to believe, a year now, since March. So we started out with making personal protective equipment for healthcare providers and first responders. And we also made some ventilators. And over the summer, we started to transition to making masks. And one of the things about wearing masks that we've seen just across the country is, hey, they're a great way to help prevent COVID. And especially now that we're getting so close to finishing the pandemic with the vaccines that are coming, with Finish Strong, we want everyone to pull together, and we're all going to get through this and across the finish line together.
And how many masks have you created and distributed so far?
So far, we've distributed and donated about 66 million face masks. These are medical grade face masks. Our original promise was to donate 100 million, but we've upped that now. We're going to donate 125 million masks.
Wow. What else should people know about Ford's mission with Finish Strong?
For people that do need masks, you can visit the Ford Fund website at fordfund.org. We have dates where you can find out when masks will be available in a city near you. We list out the cities and then also our dealers where people can come and get up to 20 masks for free.
And is that for anyone and everyone?
Anyone and everyone who shows up, you can get up to 20 masks for no charge.
What particular areas are you focusing your efforts on right now?
So we're making mask donations in all 50 states. And to find out where mask donations are occurring, you can check out fordfund.org. That's our philanthropic arm. And for Florida, February 18th, we're going to have donation sites available in Miami. So if you visit fordfund.org, you'll see a list of Ford dealers. Just visit one of those dealers, and you can get up to 20 masks for free when you stop by.
Mike, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what you're doing with the Ford Fund and sharing with us how we can be a part of it as well. And hopefully we can all come together and see the end of this to Finish Strong.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on.
More Pelican Harbor Seabird Station, plus Morgan's got some mobility stretches for us. Martin Gelbsman shows us how to warm up, and a delicious watercress sweet potato salad when SoFlo Health returns. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Franqui, and we are still at the Pelican Harbor Seabird Station. I'm joined by Hannah. Hannah, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Hannah. I'm the Rescue and Release Coordinator here at Pelican Harbor, which means that on top of just the total patient care, I'm in charge of determining when and where the different animals are ready for release. And thankfully now we have this pelican, one of 9,000 different pelicans that we've treated over the years. He's been in care with us for about 45 days and he's ready to go back.
All right, well, this is what it all comes down to. All the wildlife here is taken care of by your wonderful staff, and ultimately the idea is to get them back out into the wild to live their life.
Yes, sir.
Well, here we go. We're gonna send them off, and back out you go. That has to be a top 5 SoFlo Health moment for sure. Now, in this cage to my right, the reason it's obscured, these are the patients that are recovering. So earlier on in the show, when you saw that we were inside with Hannah and she was helping out that pelican who's getting ready for surgery, this is where they are. On my left as well, we have the birds of prey, or the raptors, those are the hawks, and they are again obscured because they don't want them imprinting on us. Now, we are going to head in to go meet some pelicans with Stephanie, and those pelicans are not going to head back out into the wild. They're here for our educational purposes. Right now, the Seabird Station is closed to the public, but normally you can come and visit, but they're giving us a sneak peek because hopefully, sooner than later, they'll be opening back up for you to come and visit. Let's head over to meet Stephanie. Stephanie, tell me about yourself and where we are.
Yeah, so I'm the Wildlife Intake and IT Manager here at Pelican Harbor. I do a little bit of everything from answering the phone calls when patients are found in the wild, injured, hit by cars, or orphaned. And I also help coordinate, donors and events that we do here at the station. And right now we're standing in our permanent ambassador pelican pen. Ooh. So all of these pelicans that are kind of flying around and jumping around, they are all permanently injured, making them not able to return to the wild. So we've decided to give them a permanent home here at the Pelican Harbor Seabird Station.
And tell me about some of your friends around me here.
Yeah, so Pepe is the one that's kind of hopping back and forth. He has been with us for quite a few years, and he is the most habituated to humans. He actually acts as a foster daddy. So not only is he educating the public about his species, But
Yeah.
when we have an orphaned pelican and we don't have any adults for them,
Yeah.
he will actually act as a father, and we'll put live fish in the pool and he'll teach them how to
Oh.
fish and everything.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so he has multiple jobs here at the station.
Well, we have so much more to see here, so make sure you stick around. But first, watch this. It's a beautiful, certainly getting warmer day here at West Lake Park. We're nice and socially distant. We've got some mats in front of us. We're gonna take our masks off. This, of course, is Morgan Shapiro. And today, she's going to show us what?
We are going to do some mobility, but specifically we're going to do mobility for the thoracic spine. So some people
What's
are
the
probably
thoracic
like,
spine? Yeah.
what's a thoracic
That's
spine?
me.
I hear the word spine, the upper part of your back.
So here?
Yep, right there. And a lot of people experience stiffness from our everyday life. We're hunched over.
Very like this right now.
Exactly, we're really tense right there, and that actually can limit your range of motion, whether it be overhead pressing or just overhead putting some plates back in the kitchen.
Right.
So really important to keep that mobility, helps you feel good, improves your posture, all that good stuff.
Okay, so what do we do?
So we are going down to all fours to start. So you're going to be knees shoulder width apart. Your hands are right under your shoulders in line. Now from here, you're going to put your right hand behind your head, and then you're going to come in. This is your starting point.
Okay.
And then we are twisting up and then right back to center. And throughout the whole thing, I want you to be mindful of your breath. And a lot of people may experience this at home, that they go up and they find that they're not able to go as high up as us, and that's okay. We are working on our mobility. It may take time, you may be stiff. So have grace with yourself and just move through the movement. Do you want to switch sides?
Yeah, let's switch sides.
You may feel a difference on one side than the other, totally normal. So starting in, coming up, twisting up,
I
trying
have actually more range of motion over here.
Okay, interesting. So that's definitely something to be aware of. More the reason to work on that mobility, even out both sides. Really keeping that low back tight and right back to center. All right, so feeling loose,
Yeah, feels
feeling good. So you know me, I don't just stop at one. We are going to take it a little bit further and get double bang for our buck. So I want you to put your right leg out, and now we are going to work on the upper back and then of course the hips, where a lot of people experience tightness as well. So specifically, we're going to stretch the adductors, which is the inner thigh.
Yeah.
So again, right hand behind the head. So now as we go in, I want you to sit back in those hips. You'll feel a nice stretch in that inner thigh. And then we twist it up, same thing.
And that's where people get very tight, because they're not stretching out the other way. They're usually in a chair or
Absolutely,
whatever it
in
may
that
be.
flexion state. Those muscles get really
Yeah.
tight. That can cause a lot of lower back pain. Let's switch sides. And of course, throughout the whole thing, I know I say it so much, but that's because it's so important. Really focus on that breath. And one, coming up. And again, slowly getting out of it,
Yeah.
bringing that leg in.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. When it comes to mobility, it's very, very important to slowly, like you told us,
Yep,
slowly get into it and slowly get out of it.
exactly.
You see a lot of athletes, when they're exercising, they're going for explosive movement.
Right.
People think like, oh, I got to do things quick and fast. No. Take your time. It's more about the form than it is about the speed or the power, especially when it comes to mobility.
Absolutely. Well,
Okay.
good job.
Is that it? Is that all we got?
Yeah, that's all we got for this
Well,
one.
good, because that's enough for me. Thanks a lot, Morgan.
Of course.
So this is Luna. I've got a meal for Luna. I'm gonna exit. Luna, you got a snack there for you. Wow, that is impressive. So as you can see, Luna was eager to eat. And later on, we've got some more for you here at the Pelican Harbor Seabird Station. Plus, we've got a watercress salad, because we gotta feed you as well. And then a workout with Martin Gelbspan. So come right back. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Franqui. We're still here with Stephanie. We have a new friend. We're at the Pelican Harbor Seabird Station. Stephanie, who is our new friend?
So this is Mowgli. She is an eastern screech owl. She's one of our permanent residents here, our ambassador animals. And she is one of our ambassadors because she's permanently injured. So by the time we got her, we did x-rays. There wasn't really much we can do, but she was young enough that we could introduce her to humans and get her a little bit used to us so that we can use her in educating the public about her species.
And what are some of the things that you educate people about when it comes to owls?
You know, one of the things we see a lot of is poison for rats. And if you poison the rat and then she comes and eats it, that's one of the injuries that we see is rodenticide poisoning. If you have rats in your neighborhood or on your property, the best thing to do is make your backyard suitable for owls to come and take home there so that they can hunt them and, you know, take care of that issue. And it's just, you know, nature in your backyard.
What does she eat?
So she mainly eats mice here with us, but we will set her like on our counter while we're cleaning her enclosure and stuff. You know, they say that your body kind of knows what it needs, and it's the same thing with animals. When they need something, they know what they need. We had a bowl of fish that were for some seabirds, and she went into hunting position, and she flew onto the bowl of dead fish and swallowed a fish.
Wow, that's impressive. We've talked about intuitive eating here on SoFlo Health. You agree?
Yeah.
And on SoFlo Health, we talked about, you know, finding what your body needs. If you feel like you need something and it's not just like a silly craving, it's a good idea to give your body what it needs. And speaking of which, we are going to do that right now with some sweet potato watercress salad coming up. Salads particularly get a bad rap for being bland, or they get in trouble because the only way that people make them taste good is to smother them in all sorts of other toppings and dressings that are high in fat and salt. Well, today we're going to show you a way to eliminate that and make it delicious as well as nutritious, and we can also make sure that we're keeping our sodium in check, and we're going to have a delicious dressing as well. I have a half a cup of water, so we're going to add that first. Balsamic vinegar. We have a 1/4 cup of walnuts, a 1/4 cup of our raisins. Finally, our garlic clove. We'll blend this up first and then finish it off with our mustard. Once you see that your walnuts pretty much obliterated, you're going to add in about a tablespoon of our Dijon mustard. Now we'll just blend that in. Okay, you just finished the hardest part of this whole recipe. We're going to leave it here for right now, but we will come back to it to top our salad in just a bit. Okay, so have a bowl for your salad. Here we're using watercress. In this pot, I have some boiled sweet potatoes, and then we're gonna add some red pepper. We got some red onion here. So the sweet potato is actually our main ingredient, so I'm gonna dump all of this in here. By adding the sweet potato as well as some of our dressing, which also has some fat in it, you're going to have a healthy, long-lasting meal compared to your average salad that is just lettuce and maybe a tomato or some onion. Finally, we'll add the tasty part. You can add as much or as little of this as you want. I'm gonna see how we do here. Wow. We've done good. That's very tasty, easy to make, and full of good nutrition for you. If you want to make a larger portion of this and keep in the refrigerator, you certainly can. I'd say for a maximum of 2, maybe 3 days. You're getting a little dangerous there. And if so, I would keep the dressing separate from it and then add it when you're about to eat it. But that's super tasty, and we'll have another delicious dish for you that's simple to make and it'll keep you on your health goals soon. You know what that salad needed? A little basil. And this is basil. Stephanie, tell us about basil.
Basil here was a baby in her mama's pouch when she was found. Her mom was hit by a car, and her only injury was her little eye. It suffered permanent trauma, so it never grew, and she can't see out of it, so she's permanently blind out of it. So because of that, we determined it'd be best to keep her as an ambassador.
Now, possums are something that a lot of people are afraid of, or they see them as rodents.
Yes.
But they're actually pretty good for our environment.
Right. They are the only animal that also eats Lyme disease carrying ticks. They can eat up to 5,000 in one season. I'm going to put her back because
Sure, go right ahead, yeah.
And they also eat any dead animals in your yard. So if there's like dead rats or dead birds, they're kind of, you know, controlled. They'll go out there and eat that. They're opportunistic. So they won't go after live animals, but they'll definitely clean that up.
Thank you very much. Martin Gelbspan has a warm-up for us. In fact, if you were paying attention to SoFlo Health the last couple of weeks, you would have seen an upper body workout and a lower body workout. We actually warm up on the show before we actually film those. So in this case, we decided we'll show it to you.
All right, so what we're gonna do is 3 different movements for the warm-up.
Okay.
We're gonna try to get the entire body warmed up. So the first thing we're gonna do is called the world's greatest stretch. So we're gonna start on the ground. And what I want you to do is I want you to pull your arms back, put your hips back. You're gonna bring the right foot right next to the right hand, and you're gonna rotate and rotate, rotate, rotate. Come back down, bring the right foot back, and now bring the left foot forward. Same thing, I want you to rotate, exhale, bring it back down. You're warming up the hip flexors here, you're warming up the hamstrings, thoracic, upper back, a little bit of shoulders. So you're trying to get the entire body warmed up before you get into the exercise. All right, now let's walk it back. Good. Next one, since I know you have tight hamstrings, like everybody else out there, everybody that sits down, they have tight hamstrings. We're gonna place our hand on the ground, and we're gonna bring up the hips and come back down. One more. Good. And the last one we're gonna do is a little bit more technical.
Okay.
It's called the wave unload.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into that same position we did for the first exercise. And what I want you to do is, with your arms extended, start pulling up your hips, bring the knees all the way back, feel it in the hamstrings. Start pushing up with your arms. Bring the hips forward, 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 and then bring them down. Keep your arms extended, look up, exhale. Tuck the chin in, push up with your arms, bring the hips up, and then back and down.
So you're kind of like rolling your spine up?
Your spine, exactly. You're warming up the entire spine. Okay.
And that was the warm-up?
That was the warm-up. Whew. If you guys want to do that 2 times, you definitely could do it 2 times just to warm up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they're usually tough exercises too.
Yeah.
But you warm up the entire body and gets you ready for the exercise.
Yeah, I'm feeling loose, I'm feeling warm. So that's a little bit of a sneak preview of what we do behind the scenes before we make the workouts with Martin or anybody else in the show. We do think that warm-ups are important, and this is just one of the many that you can do. Morgan's shown you some in the past. The important part is that you do it. We've got some more SoFlo Health, but over the break, think about this. Pelicans, how high can they fly? A, 2,000 feet, B, 5,000 feet, or C, 10,000 feet? The answer when SoFlo Health returns. Welcome back to SoFlo Health. I'm Hunter Franqui, and before the break, I asked you, how high can a pelican fly? Is it A, 2,000 feet, B, 5,000 feet, or C, 10,000 feet? If you said C, 10,000 feet, you're correct. With a wingspan of 6 to 7 feet, pelicans can fly all the way up to 10,000 feet. So it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a pelican. Thank you so much to everyone here at the Seabird Station for giving us a tour, showing us how you take care of the animals, and for doing that work. It's your work that keeps our ecosystems stronger and stronger throughout the 40 years and beyond of their existence here. Well, if you want to catch up on previous episodes of SoFlo Health, you can do so on SoFloHealth.com. You can follow us using @SoFloHealth to share with us what you're doing to stay healthy. And until next time, it's goodbye and good health. See you later, bud.
Next week on SoFlo Health, Morgan shows us more mobility moves like this. Then Professor Produce tells us why watercress is so healthy for you. What a relief. Speaking of relief, the COVID vaccine is making its rounds. We'll update you on symptoms, where to get vaccinated, and what you need to do before you go. It's all next week, and we'll see you then.